got some good people who's going to speak today. Real good people. So let's go ahead and get this started. You want to get this started? All right. First up, my man, Anthony Blake.
How you guys doing? I'm not gonna drink too much water because I don't want to walk a half a mile nowhere, so I'll wait on that. Thank you for the water, though. I appreciate it. So this is beautiful. Seriously, I feel like I'm about to do some comedy or something, but I'm not. This is a serious issue that's going on. Let me kind of introduce myself. My name is Anthony Blake. Born and raised in Northeast Portland. Been there, it'll be 48 years next week. So a kind of introduction to what's going on. What really got me started, I'm just like a freestyle. I don't really write stuff down. I go off how I feel, and if I see the crowd, I know what to say and how to say it. About 3.5 months ago, when the situation happened with George Floyd, I was never into protesting. I was never into marching. I was the type of person that sit on my couch and see it on TV and be like, man, I'm not going out there with them fools at all, right? So the first night when they started protesting and marching, I watched it on the news, and they were rioting and looting and all that stuff. So I'm watching, I said, see, that's why I don't go down there. That's why I don't deal with them people, right? So the next morning, I was on social media, and I saw my son and my daughter. They were down there, but they wasn't down at the initial looting and all that stuff. They was at the peaceful march and protest. So I'm looking, I'm like, well, if they can do it, let me go see what's going on. As a parent, I wanted to go the next day for protection. That was my first initial why I wanted to go. I could really care less about what was going on. I wanted to make sure they were all right. So I go down there, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with Portland, but there's a bridge called Burnside Bridge, and I'm going down MLK, and it's like it was a parade of people going across MLK over the bridge. And I'm sitting there, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna sit in this line. I know it's not gonna be that long. So I'm sitting on the bridge, 10 minutes go by, people just coming. 15 minutes go by, I'm like, man, I'm not gonna sit here that much longer. So I backed up, parked my car, and I joined the march. And when I tell you, a lot of things don't give me chills, but when I tell you when I joined this march, and it stopped on the bridge, and I just looked, and the sea of people that was there, it instantly changed my mind right there. Like, what is my purpose of being on this earth? What is the purpose God has me here on this earth to do? Because we all have a purpose while we're here. God has a purpose for you. But it's our job to find out what that is. No one can tell you your purpose. It just has to hit you. It took me 47 years for it to hit me. But before that, he was preparing me for the journey, my next journey that I was taking. As far as like, for 20 years, I was a club promoter, concert promoter, event planner, all that. And I look back, and everything was clicking like, this is why I was doing this for all those years. He was preparing me for my next journey. So let me go forward a little bit. The day when we was doing the march, I really didn't realize how many people it was. Only I was on the bridge with the people, so you can't really see down that way or down that. But when I tell you, it was a half a mile of people, like you couldn't even walk through. So that night, my son was down there also. He's a professional photographer and does the drone stuff and all that stuff. So I get on the social media that night, and I'm watching the social media. He had edited everything, and his drone footage that went over the river. I saw it, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not talking about just seeing it, seeing the people of different walks of life, different colors, different everything. And it was a beautiful thing because it was so much unity that I've never seen ever in my life. You know? And so that's what makes this whole movement so different. I was doing a podcast the other day, and the guy asked me, he said, well, why do you think now that we're getting so much support from other races? And I thought about it. And I said, you know what, really? If you think about it, from the ages of 10, maybe even 12, but I'll start at 10. From the ages of 10 to 50, what do we all have in common? Well, the majority of us, what do we have in common? It's a culture. We've all grown up on the same culture. And as far as like music, entertainment, sports, all that. So it's like, and this is my opinion, why it is. I think we've all grown up on the same culture. We feel each other's pain now. There's not a lot of racism in the homes anymore. Kids are not being taught racism anymore like it used to be. So I think that's a major part of it right there, because it starts in the home. Kids are not born racist, they're taught being racist. And I think that's the key, and that's the change that's happening right now. It's not gonna change overnight. It's gonna change a little faster because you got social media now, and you can get information out to a lot more people. So the next day after the first march, I'll go back down there. My niece has been going down there with me. My sister right there, that's Kiana, that's my road dog right there. But we went down there every night. And when I tell you, this is a beautiful thing. There's no tear gas, there's no rubber bullets, there's no flash grenades. I've personally witnessed all of that and been affected by that. Just last 2 weeks ago, I think we were down there, I was shot 6 times within 3 days. And that was just, and I'm not even partaking in the throwing at them, none of that stuff. But I was shot, tear gassed, all that. So we had to go buy full gear like we're going to war, which was crazy. And so after the Portland police stopped protecting downtown, when they brought the feds in. So before that, they don't realize that it had went from 4,000 people downtown, and it dwindled down to, I want to say, 50 to 100 people. So it was time now to start having those meetings and start meeting up with our elected officials and start changing laws and stuff like that. But when they brought the feds in, that was out the window. Now you go from 4,000 people down to 200, down to 100, down to 50, and then the next night it goes back up to 10,000 people downtown. Only because Trump brought his soldiers in here, and it just sparked up the fire, and it made people way more angrier than they were. So, I mean, you had your Black Lives Matter people down there fighting for a great cause. But also you have other groups down there also that have their own agendas that ride on the back of other movements. You got these people down there that's just angry with the police, they're angry with the system, they're just angry. And I understand them. I understand. Because the thing is, when you're doing any kind of protesting, you need your rioters, you need your looters, you need your speakers, and you need it's another one I forgot. But you need all 4 of those entities when you're doing any kind of protest. Because without the rioters and the looters, there's no attention on us. We can knock on the door soft, no one's gonna answer. But as soon as you start bamming on the door, kicking doors down, tearing fences down, then they want to listen. So I'm not gonna keep you guys long, but August 1st, I put on my first march and protest. It was the first one I've ever done in my life. Like I said, I'm an event coordinator. You know, I know how to put things together. So I got a team around me, educators, political people, youth advocates, couple more. But the march was so successful. I had about 8,000 to 9,000 people meet up at a park. We had speakers. I had Loretta Smith speaking. Had a couple other people speaking also. But when we left the park, we did the march. And when I tell you, when I'm standing on this truck and I'm looking at the sea of people, tears start coming down my face. Not because of the pain. I wasn't feeling any pain. It was the joy of seeing like something that I had been doing for so long. It all amounted up just to that one moment that changed my life for forever. Like I said, I'm not the same person I was 4 months ago. Go ahead, you can give me some. I'll pat myself too. And like I said, 4 months ago, I'm not the same person I was then. My patience are better. I've never been like an angry person, so I was gonna say something else. I don't want to keep you guys long. Also, I want to appreciate my man Tracy. There you go, man. I appreciate you. I've been knowing him and his brother for the longest. I used to work at a barbershop for like 20-some years. They used to come when they were little. Now they're like super bigger than me. I want to thank you guys for coming out. I want to thank you guys for supporting what's going on, because you don't realize that how much we need you. I'm going to say that again. We need you. Because you got to realize only we can make ourselves embarrassed or hurt. Right? So if I'm seeing my brother out here doing wrong, I feel like I can check him and tell him, hey, look, that's not cool. And he's going to listen. But the moment me or him or one of us go out and see another race doing something, it seems like we're like the angry black person or the angry black woman. So that's why I said we need you to start checking your own people also. Sometimes you have to start making people feel so uncomfortable that they won't do it. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to feel uncomfortable or make someone else feel uncomfortable, but that's the only way it's gonna work. We have to start checking our own people when they do wrong. That's where it starts. When you start making people feel uncomfortable and embarrassed, they'll stop doing it. And if they don't stop doing it, they'll keep it inside. Because if you notice what's going on now is like, you're getting a lot of people, racist people, coming out of the woodworks. And sometimes it's not coming out of their mouth. It's the way they feel. They're getting real irritated at home. They're seeing a lot of stuff on TV. It's bugging them. It's bugging them so bad that it's starting to ooze out of them. They're holding their hands over their mouth because, one, they don't want to lose their job. Two, they don't want people to know how they feel. Three, they don't want to be embarrassed. Because most of them are embarrassed when somebody say, hey, I caught you doing this. You know you're wrong. So that's all I'm saying. We need you guys. We need you guys. And again, I want to thank you guys for coming out. This really means a lot to me and my community. To see the rural areas outside of Portland supporting this. Like, we need the rural areas just as much as we need Portland. We do. And like I said, I'm not like the most educated person on these issues, but I'm aware now, and I'm working on it. Trust me, I am working on it. That's all I do now. I don't really listen to music anymore. I'm listening to people on podcasts, and it's weird now. Like I'm the person I never thought I would ever be, but I love it. I love it. You guys just don't know.